What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan Arthur Walker, and I am here today to do a live Kendama podcast talking type interview thing situation here on twitch.tv/Ryan Arthur Walker. And I'm here with some guys from Kendama, Minneapolis. They're going to introduce themselves in a second. I'm going to ask for you to look over here at the intro. It says, welcome. This is the first stream of its kind, and I thank you kindly for being a part of it. It says, follow the channel on Twitch, and I'll tell you why. It says, if you follow the channel on Twitch, you'll be entered to win a free Dama at the end of the stream, and the winner will be announced on our Instagram. So not only will you get a free Dama, but you'll get shout out on Instagram that has about 6,000 followers. That sounds pretty good to me. So be sure to click that follow button. It says, please welcome Kendama Minneapolis. Show some love in the chat. Let them know that you're here. Let them know that you're watching. And it says, if you can, use 2 devices. And I say that because we're going to be playing a game called Kahoot.it, which is a trivia website that we will need you to be able to see the stream and also be using your phone or another another browser as the way to play the game. And without further ado, we're going to just show the schedule real quick. It says 8 o'clock is start live stream, aka right now. 8:05 we're going to start the interview. 8:20 we're going to get logged into Kahoot.it and start giveaway number 1. And then 8:25 is right when we're going to start the game, hopefully, and have everyone logged in. Then we're going to bring in some Atlanta Kendama's players. Kendama Minneapolis is going to host giveaway number 2. And then we're going to take some viewers from you, take some questions from you viewers in the chat. And then we're going to have some final thoughts in the closing, and that'll wrap up the first ever Kendama live stream that we got going on here today. So, Kendama Minneapolis, I would like you guys to introduce yourselves.
I am Christian S.
Yeah, Tyler Abrahamson.
And so, I know Minneapolis is a recognizable city, but are you guys actually from Minneapolis?
I'm from just outside of Minneapolis, actually, so I guess we pose a little bit.
No, not posing. And Christian, you're from Minneapolis as well?
Yes.
And so how long have you guys known each other?
7 years.
Yes, 7, 8 years. College days.
College. How'd you meet?
We were RAs, actually.
Really?
At the University of St. Thomas.
Were you the cool RA or were you the, like, serious RA?
We were pretty darn cool. We didn't let the worst of the shenanigans go down, but we were pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, fair. You can't let the craziest stuff go down, but I think I knew people who walked that line, right? Who they allowed some stuff to go on, but when it got out of hand, they were like, hey, you guys are taking advantage of this, so stop.
Absolutely.
You guys have any, like, crazy RA stories that you could share real quick?
Oh, there was one time that I was responding to a call. Public safety followed some drunk people into our residence hall, and a guy jumped out of the top bunk in like duct tape gold pants.
Okay.
And no shirt, but his chest was covered in glitter.
What?
And I was blown away. It was the single weirdest thing that I had ever seen.
What?
All thanks to that job, yeah. And that was actually, I mean, that's kind of day-to-day stuff.
I mean, I was never an RA, but living in a dorm, I've seen some things, but never from that side of it. So that's interesting. How did the glitter get there? Do I want to know? I don't actually know if I want to know.
I'd never ask. I stayed away from that.
That's cool. That's cool. And I think a better question is not only, how did you guys meet and whatever, but how did you get into Kendama?
So, we're small business guys, and we have other friends that are into this kind of alt artsy sort of world, and one of my buddies knows Matt Sweets, and he just said, have you heard of these goofy things? You seem like the kind of person that might be into this kind of goofy thing. And I didn't think much of it at first, but I swung through an air traffic one day, like a little toy store, and picked one up on a whim because he had recommended it. He's a good friend, and I have been carrying it with me ever since. And Tyler was there with me that day. We've been in it together since day one.
Do you remember that first Dama? What was it?
It was a black stain Sweets F2.
Oh, okay.
Sure. I had the blue version of the same model.
I think I had I think it was my 3rd or 4th Kendama was the walnut with the orange string. The F2, you remember that one? The walnut stain. Really, really good kendama. I landed a couple things on that that were really big for me at the time. And so after you find kendama and you pick it up, like what was your immediate reaction? Was it like, okay, I'm gonna buy every other kendama on the planet, or was it like, this is fun, and then it kind of picked up later?
Took a while.
Yeah, it took a little while. I feel like I was also finishing up school, so I was very busy at the time. So it took me until graduating when I had a little more time on my hands to really get into it. So for I'd say the first 6-7 months of having it, it wasn't a daily thing. But after that, it's been pretty much every day. That was 4 years ago.
Yeah. Once I learned Lighthouse, I really took off. Started buying everything. I became a collector. My collection went from a couple to too many. And
Right. I think we've all had that point, right, where we kind of look. I had that point a couple months ago where I looked in my closet. I was like, I will never actually play all of these kendamas, so they need to go somewhere. Like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. So and that's the problem too, right? Is now you guys are business owners, but you were kendama players first. So you collect and you appreciate and you want to try, and I still feel the same way. Is like I could walk over there, literally right off camera right now, pick up a fresh kendama that we just made and play it. But I still want to go buy the new suites. I still want to go buy the new PNW. I still want to go buy the new Kendama USA because I'm a kendama player. I want to try all of these things.
When we were at camp, we both, even though we sponsored it and our product was right there and we could grab anything, we both dropped, what was it, $80 on the sangas that were there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Beautiful pieces of art in our minds, and I'm still, I've slowed down a lot, but I'm still a collector at heart.
Yeah. What would you say is like your favorite Dama? Like if I asked you to go into your collection and pick up your favorite Dama that's not a Kendama Minneapolis Kendama, which we'll get to in a minute, but if you were going to pick up another Kendama, which would it be?
So when Sweets put out the Goblin and Magenta specs.
Oh my, okay.
I bought both of them because I couldn't decide and switched the Seratos and Spikes around so that they're a mashup. And either one of those are probably my favorite that we haven't done anything with.
They're still fresh?
No,
No,
they're shredded.
No, they're shredded.
I might be a collector and I haven't played my most recent Sangha, but I am in the Destroy All Damas camp.
See, I wasn't there, and I'm happy to join you guys now. I wasn't there, and I'm happy to join you. But Christian, what about you? Like, what would be the Dama that you would be like, yo, this is my favorite one that I didn't have a hand in making?
I'd say the one that inspired me the most was my first Birch Sangha.
I have a Birch Sangha somewhere. I haven't played it because like I said, I wasn't in that era, but now I'm in the Destroy All Dama, so I'm working my way through some of the ones that I kind of have left over. What about the Birch Sangha? Like, really, did you get it at MKO 2015? Because that's when I got mine.
Yep, of course. So maybe you and I might have been the only two that got those then.
It's very possible.
I think there was like 5 others for sale on their website that sat there a while. I don't think there's very many of those at all.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of that, do you have any like really rare kendamas in your possession?
We have some pretty unique ones, I'd call them. I don't know that any of them are like particularly valuable. I've got a really old GT Sour Mash that has to be like one of the first ones that Marcus Todd gifted me. That's gotta be pretty cool.
That's cool.
I've got a pretty cool Zoot collaboration that's more of an art piece that I played a little bit. Their Dream Jammer, that's a really cool guy. But most of my like the ones that I attach the most value to is like Christian did a full custom on an F3 to match a Deal With It Lucifer Tama, and it's gorgeous, and it's by far my favorite show off piece.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I think I have a Sakura Pearl fresh in box that I got from when what's it called? What was the company in Hawaii? And I apologize that I'm
Asian.
Yes, thank you. When they closed, unfortunately, I copped one for a very good price, and it's still
Oh,
fresh in box. I can't bring myself to open it. I will. I'm in the destroy all Damas phase. I'll get there. I'll get there. But right
it's
now,
got
it's a
to
little
work.
difficult.
So that's one a fresh Sakura Pearl is probably in my top three like dream damas, and you your ass I would open it up and play it.
Yeah, I gotta get there. I gotta get there. That's awesome. But to segue into a little bit more about Kendama Minneapolis, like, what was the prompt for you guys to kind of to start this thing? Because I think even from my own curiosity and from some other people's curiosity, being that you guys kind of started around where Sweets Kendamas already existed, what was the prompt for you guys to be like, no, we're our own thing. We have our own idea. This is what we want to do, but we're still gonna recognize and support another company as well. And you guys seem to have a great relationship. Anyway, we'll get into that in a second. Sorry, where did it start?
So it started with us just not being satisfied with what existed in the world of kendama. We didn't think at the time like the things that were available were cool enough. And so we thought, why? Like, why aren't they cool enough? And
Right.
being artistic people, we started customizing our own kendamas. Like, well, if we can't buy the coolest stuff, we'll make the coolest stuff.
Nice.
And we just wanted cool kendamas to play for ourselves. And eventually, enough of our friends wanted stuff, and even strangers were contacting us asking for art. And so we needed a brand. We needed more things, but it all came about very slowly and very naturally, just from the need of people to play something a little more interesting than what was available at the time.
Got to shout out Parker Johnson, who was like the first person to be like, I need one of these for myself, please.
Wow,
And
that's crazy.
like I attribute a lot of our initial drive to him and other Sweets people that were like, you guys are doing some pretty cool stuff, keep going. They were very supportive.
And what's that feel like to see a company? I mean, Sweets Kendamas is, we know, a very friendly, supportive company, but they're a huge company, and they easily could have been like, nah, we're not gonna help you. And again, we know they're not like that, but they could have been, right? Like, if this was maybe a different market, if this was a different niche, they could have just said like, why should we help you, right? But like, what does that feel like to be like, wow, these guys are willing to work with us?
uh, there's no reason for them to work with us at all or really be friendly. But from the very beginning, I mean, we knew that was going to be a challenge, and so we didn't go about it like we're obviously not going to take them down. We're not.
Not even a goal.
We're not.
No, I get you. I
Bigger
get
than
you.
them. We're not going to be. So we figured if you can't beat them, kind of join them. It all comes from a place of peace. We're truly just trying to grow Kendama. And if they can help us grow Kendama faster than we can do it on our own, we're happy to help. And they quickly realized that, and now we work together.
And it helps that their goal is also truly to spread Dama love. Like that, they looked at us as. And like they're all just the nicest people. Anybody who meets Matt Sweets knows that he's gonna take time out of his day to make sure you're having a good time while he's around.
Yeah, true.
So the first thing we did as a company was like within a month or two of us starting and getting our website out there is we hosted a competition, and Sweets was instrumental in helping us plan that, and they were our biggest prize sponsor, and they were just like, you're helping be a physical embodiment of the Kendama community and are going to be good for the Minnesota community. And I feel like that's where it all started, was us realizing that working together is the best way to grow both locally and try and blow it up on a world scale.
Yeah, I remember seeing the information for that contest that you guys ran. I think, didn't Matt Sweets win the competition?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember seeing Sweets post about it and being like, "Oh, I haven't won a competition in so long," and like, I remember seeing. I think that was the first time I saw your customs, and I was blown away because as somebody that we started as being a custom company, right? We started as painting our own, and that quickly. We learned how hard that is, and how much we painted about 500, just over 500 ourselves. Yeah, and so we did our time, I think, and I would love to keep doing it, but it's not possible with the situation right now. But that's such a great story to hear, right? Like about how you guys, get supported by another company, and I think that kind of leads into another thing I want to talk about is like there's stuff that people don't know about in the community that you guys do that I think is so important, and that's the Kendama outreach that you're doing. And I think that's what you were saying is that Sweet's goals aligned with what your goals were, and then I think Sweet's recognized that not only did your goals align, but you guys were actually doing it. So if you guys just want to speak a little bit more to the fact, or what is the Kendama outreach program and what are you guys doing, and maybe explain it to, some of the people who are in Twitch chat right now.
Yeah. So when I think about community outreach, and my two main goals are to first, like grow the community, get new players, get new people in here. We talk a lot about the 98% of the people that don't know Kendama when you see it. How do we get that more of that 98% playing? And to
Right.
do that, we've been focusing a lot on school programs. We organize and run after-school programs and summer camp classes through a ton of different organizations, with the goal being to introduce Kendama to these more often than not elementary school kids, fourth, fifth graders, some middle school players, introduce them to Kendama in a way where they're more likely to continue playing it. Because we've all seen those players that pick it up, see somebody play and be like, all right, I really want to try this. Then it's too hard. And they drop it and they put it down forever and don't come back. We're trying to give these people that are picking up Kendama for the first time an opportunity to succeed at it, and that in hopes that they stay playing.
Yeah, and I think you have the teacher mindset, right? Sorry to cut you off, Christian, but
No, absolutely.
you have the teacher mindset, which is I'm not just gonna give you something and then not like walk you through it. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna show you how to use it. I'm gonna set out what your progression is gonna be and your goals, and I'm gonna be there to foster your growth along the way. But that's the only way to get somebody to keep moving through it, because you're right, like it's a frustrating toy. And for some people, it's I pick it up, I do it one time, I'm good, I'm going to walk away from it. For other people, it's like I'm going to grind until I get this trick because I need to get it. And so it's like, if you don't have that personality, you need a little extra. And I think what you're saying is exactly right. Like you're there to kind of push the kids because there's that kind of like that cliff, like you were saying earlier, Christian, with like you got the lighthouse and you were like, whoa, hold on a second, this trick is awesome. Let me go buy some more Kendamas, or let me progress in my tricks and stuff. So I definitely resonate with what you're saying. But again, I cut you off. So what were you gonna continue with there?
I was just going to ask Tyler to say more about what exactly we're doing and what kinds of effort we're putting in to foster this early growth in Kendama players.
Yeah, because it's been definitely a work in progress. And like Ryan, we talked about it at nauseum over camp.
Yeah.
Like we had a lot of great conversations about what we can do to get it so people keep playing. Like we're introducing an idea of a Ken degree. Like how do you monitor progress? Because that's a huge thing for a lot of people. Like I know, like for instance, I know we're on Twitch, big video game community. Like you need to be able to monitor how you're doing, not only in comparison to where you are, but in comparison to other people. So in all of our classes, we implement 100 trick Ken degree that they can level from 0 up to 10.
Awesome. Like a real life RPG.
Yeah, exactly. We're
That's
trying
awesome.
to teach skills, but then not just teach the Kendama skills. We're trying to teach them like the life tools that they need to succeed at these challenging things. The buzzword in education is growth mindset, but it's this idea that failure is the most important part of the learning process, and it's necessary in order for you to succeed. And that's one of the things that we really push in our classes. Anytime, like one thing we try to never say hard or like everything's challenging, because everybody loves a challenge. You can work through a challenge.
Yeah.
But when somebody hears the word hard, they're likely to shut down.
Yeah.
We're trying to promote these young kids to have this mindset that they can get through this challenging stuff and be better for it at the end. And it's not the end that's the important part. It's that getting better. That's the most important part.
No, I 100% agree with you. And I think while you were saying that, what my thought process was, you know, the kendama itself, just the toy, doesn't have value. It's just a wooden toy. But it's the values that people have, and when you spread them from person to person, that's what's gonna take that wooden toy and make it more than it is. And I think you guys are perfect examples of that mindset, and that you're perfect examples of not only that mindset, but you're perfect examples of the practical application of that mindset. We're not just going to say that this toy has changed our life, or we're not going to say that this toy has made a difference in our mindset. We're going to go show other kids how they can achieve this mindset and then keep it going. Because you're right, like saying something's hard, it's like, I don't want to do hard work. I don't want to go out and rake the leaves. That's what I think about when I think of hard work. Shout out my dad, because that's what we did when we were younger. And no, we didn't jump in the piles. We raked them. And so, but then I think about a challenge, and to me, a challenge is so exciting. It always feels good to accomplish something. Always. It doesn't matter whether it's small or big. And you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody to pat themselves on the back at every small accomplishment, but it feels great, doesn't it?
Yeah. And like Josh Grove, I go with challenges. He goes with journeys.
Yeah.
He takes his students on journeys.
That's such a Flow Grove word.
But it works so well.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying right there is that you guys both are trying to get to the same end point, but you have a different path, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
it's the same end goal, but it's just different terminology. And so what's, you know, like we were talking about, again, you said like ad nauseum, you know, if the journey is to, by the time you're 18 years old, leave high school and be an you know, a productive members of society, who cares how you get there, as long as by the end point you're there. And so with Kendama, like you're saying, if you guys have a different way that you're teaching the class, but the end goal is kind of the same of what Josh is teaching, or what, you know, somebody's doing in Florida or Texas, isn't that the craziest thing? Is that we all have the same end goal that we want someone to get to. We just have a different way of getting them there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wild. That's wild.
It's all about sharing the joy that we've all found with this super simple wooden toy.
Yeah.
And, you know, part of what we're doing is trying to make that communication more efficient. We're trying to create a program that we can roll out in more places and help people that are almost ready to teach everyone kendama and really make the difference that we're making.
That's awesome.
But don't quite have the resources that we had getting started.
Or the experience.
So we'll just have a plug-and-play packet, and we can hand it to you and say, you're ready to go teach kendama, and all the resources to go contact everyone you need to contact and set up classes of your own.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. And I think on that note, I'm going to pause for a second, and we're going to move forward to the first giveaway, if you guys are cool with that.
Great. Absolutely.
That was an amazing conversation. I can't wait to listen to that back. But people of the Twitch chat, the Twitchverse, the internet cat people, we are going to do a giveaway for an Atlantic kendama, either wintergreen or jellyfish. Doesn't matter. You can choose whoever the winner is. But what I need you to do, oh, I forgot the fun questions. We're gonna come back to those. I'm gonna cycle through those for a second. We gotta get moving just a little bit. Don't look at those. It says, before we move forward though, are you following the Twitch channel? Please follow the Twitch channel, because you will be entered to win a kendama just for following tonight. If you're on the list of people who followed, you will be entered for a free kendama, whether you win this giveaway or not. So just click follow, and you'll be entered. Thank you to HJF9610 for following, and to everybody else who's followed already. I didn't want to interrupt them while you're talking, but I really appreciate it. Yeah. So, and also I really do like that GIF of the dancing. It's like, it's funny. It's funny to me. Anyway. Please go on your phone. I recommend on your phone, if you're watching on a computer, to kahoot.it. Just type that in right in your browser, kahoot.it. Some of you might recognize this from school. I'm going to type it in on my phone so I can show you what it looks like too. Kahoot.it. So it'll look just like this. I'm going to show you on my phone. This is what it looks like right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my little screen so that I can go to the right thing, but I do have two rules. It says your name must be either A, your real name, or B, your Instagram handle. For one of two reasons. It's easily identifiable to see who won, and also who's in the chat. And also, please use integrity and answer the questions without the help of the internet. It is very easy for you to open a new tab, find the question or the answer real quick, possibly, but don't do that. that's not the reason for this game. And also remember that this is just a game. Any negative comments or interactions with another player result in an immediate ban. I'm not here to have people cause animosity. This is a place of positivity. So I want you to have fun and just play the game. And if you know a question, you know a question. If you don't, you don't. But let's get that started right here. I probably should have had it already set up. But you win some, you lose some. So we're going to do the game in Classic. And so what you do is you go onto the website, and this pin number right here, 263298, you need to enter that in the game pin. Just type in 263298, 263298 right here, just like this, and then you click enter. Bing. And then it'll prompt you to give a nickname. This is where you get to choose what it is that you want to choose. I see Andrew's in. We got Tyler and Kevin, Christian and Kendama. I'm going to add in.
Hey, Heinz, shout out Kendama.
Shouts out.
That guy.
I'm going to give you a second to get in. I know that it takes a minute because we might not have used this before. Preston, what up? What's up, Caleb? Thanks for joining in. I'm not going to join in the game because I'm running it. You might have seen Kahoot before. It's really fun. So the way it's going to work while everybody's still getting in, I want to give you a chance. If you're just coming in now and you didn't see it before, go to kahoot.it. It says it right at the top. Actually, it's cut off, so I lied to you. It says kahoot.it, and you log in with this game pin right here, and that'll be what allows you to join in our game. We've got 11 players. I'm going to give it like one more minute to allow people to get in because we have 16 viewers, so one being myself. So that must be maybe around 15, 13 people. You put in your nickname. We got Rob, thank you for joining. Hunter, thank you for joining. This is going to be a variety of Kendama trivia questions. So what will happen when I click start is on your phone there will be a variety of shapes, and the shapes will be associated to a question that is on the screen. You'll click the shape, and that'll be your answer. The faster that you answer, the more points you get. The only problem is if you get it wrong, you get no points. So at the end, whoever has the highest score, Josh, what up? Thank you so much for joining. At the end of the game, then you can crown yourself the victor, and we'll be able to see who takes away that giveaway. I'm going to give about 30 more seconds. Twitch chat, I see that you're putting questions in the chat. I will go back and read them. It's difficult for me to do both at the same time because I'm still learning this as well. But please feel free to leave that stuff in the Twitch chat, and I will get back to it because there is a chance for us to ask questions later. I'm going to give about 10 more seconds. Seems like we got everybody in here. Uh-oh, we had one drop. Who did we lose?
We got some people that don't have two devices, and it looks like Sal might be having trouble. Does Sal know the kahoot.it?
Follow that link right there, Sal. Oh, did I type it wrong?
There's a comma instead of a dot.
Of course there is. Kahoot.it. I guess I should have typed that in the chat. Thank you. Again, this is all a learning process. Going to be noted in the future. I'll give you a second. Sal, you're in. I see you up there. HJF, I'm glad that we gave you a second to get in as well. Anybody else that we're missing? We did this last week, but we did it in the Twitch chat, and I think this is going to be a little bit smoother. So we're going to go ahead and get started now with the Kahoot game. No, who did we lose? Why are people dropping out? Who is that 13th person?
Actually,
there
we
we
got
go.
more stream now. This is great.
Cool. Here we go. Ready. Start. It says Kendama Trivia, 10 questions. Are you ready? The first Borders balance flip was landed by which player?
Oh.
Oh boy.
I don't have a.
Oh. Unless it accidentally touched it.
The answer was Turner Thorne.
Rats.
I knew that one.
We got a couple people with Cooper Eddy, one with Willie P. All good options, but unfortunately, let's see. Christian is in the lead. Andrew right behind. Caleb behind that. Hines and Kevin somehow made it on the list with 0 points. Hey, welcome to the list, Kevin. Let's go to the next one. It says the most viewed Kendama video on YouTube is. This is a tricky one. I'm telling you right now, this is a tricky one. I know there's a little lag, unfortunately. There should be enough time still for you to get the question in.
How about that one?
The Kendama toy. Ryan Higa. Kendama toy. If anyone knows what I'm talking about. That video has the most views on YouTube that is related to Kendama. A lot of people I knew were going to go for the world's most amazing Kendama ninjas. I knew it. Let's see who moved up to the top of the list now. Christian's still at the top of the list. Maybe the list didn't change, so maybe a couple people got it right who are still on the bottom of the list because it took a little time. Oh, there we go, 846. Let's see, let's go to the next one here. Kendama OC announced this player as Player of the Year for 2016 in the Pro Division. Kendama OC announced this player as Player of the Year for the 2016 Pro Division.
Oh, come on.
The right answer was TJ Kolsnick. We had people choose Bonzatron and Cooper Eddy and Christian Frazier. All right, so we got people going across the board here. The video settings are located on the little cog-looking thing that says on the screen. If you go top of the video player on the bottom right-hand side, and the third one in from the left is like this little cog-looking thing, like a bike wheel, yeah, you get what I'm saying, a cog. And you click on that, and you can choose settings source, and hopefully it might not lag for you. I apologize for the people who are experiencing some lag. Again, another learning experience for us here. Next let's see where the leaderboard is. Christian's still in the lead here with 1,434 points. We got Sal picking up second place. Andrew moving down to third. Ooh, that's a tight race between Caleb and, do I say it, Emil? How do I say it? I apologize if I mispronounce your name. We're going to move on to the most viewed individual player edit currently on YouTube is. The most viewed individual player edit currently on YouTube is it Owase, Kendama Edit 6? Is it Kendama Edit number 5 by Zach Yord? Colin Sander, Kendama Edit number 7? Or Colin Sander practicing Kendama?
Oh.
What is the most viewed? Wow, we got 3 people getting the Zach Yord question right. I was a little surprised, honestly. I would have chose practicing Kendama, honestly. Or I would have chose edit number 7. Because whenever I tell anybody about Kendama, I say, go watch Colin Sander edit number 7. Because that is a legendary edit. Let's see if the scores change. Sal takes a big jump into first place by 400 points. Andrew's still holding up third. Christian in second. N2Lac, you're just joining in the party now with 975 points, and Emil, you're staying down there in 5th place, still in the running though. It's anybody's game right now. The lag is a little too real. We're gonna have to fix that for next time, but let's roll with it for what we can right now. Today marks the 5th anniversary of what company? Today marks the 5th anniversary of what company? Sweets Kendamas, Soul Kendamas, Glowkin, or Roots Kendamas, and I mean literally today. June 29th, 2017 marks the 5th anniversary of what company?
Did you choose Soul Tip?
Glowkin is the right answer. Today they are celebrating their 5th anniversary, which was all over Instagram, and I thought, you know what? That'll be a good question for today. Unfortunately, I apologize for the lag again, everybody. A couple people choosing Sweets, Soul, Roots, all companies that have been around for a similar time period. So I figured that those would be very difficult answers to get. And we got Andrew taking a big leap into the lead with 2,230 points. Sal still sitting in second. Christian going to third. Caleb moving up back into his rightful 4th position. And N2Lac just keeping that 5th position. He's holding it down. We got before coming pro for Soul Kendamas, Kevin DeSoto played for what company? Did he play for Clack Kendamas, Kendama Co., Kendama USA, or Yumu Kendamas? Kevin DeSoto. Real nice guy. Love Kevin. Easily one of my favorite people to hang out with and chill with.
Super nice guy. Got the chance to meet him at MKO last year.
Super nice guy. And the answer is Yumu. We got 7 people getting the right answer there. 1 choosing Kendama USA and 4 going for Clack Kendama. So this could definitely change the standings. Kevin, I definitely see your comment in the Twitch chat, and I will change the time in the future. But let's roll with it for right now. I really appreciate your feedback, man. Next. Andrew, really taking a commanding lead by about 1,000 points. Christian still sitting in second. Sal taking that 3rd spot away from Caleb. Now, Entulak, he said, you know what? I know this question. I'm getting this one right, and I'm taking my rightful spot in 4th place, slowly climbing himself up the ladder, and Caleb coming in 5th. Said this player did a 100-day challenge using 100 different setups. Was it Jake Weens, Chelsea May Perez, Cooper Eddy, or Kevin DeSoto? Jake Weens, Chelsea May Perez, Cooper Eddy, or Kevin DeSoto? I don't know. Psych. Yes, I do.
You better know.
Of course I do. I made the whole thing. This is what I was doing during my planning period today. Chelsea May Perez. A couple people choosing Jake Weens. As much as I love Jake, he has not done the 100-day challenge. Chelsea May has done it, though. Easily, she has to be one of the best at social media in Kendama, in my opinion.
She's like my favorite pro.
She has to be one of the best at social media. She is fantastic, and she's a really nice human being. So that also tops it off. Andrew really staying in that commanding lead. Christian, you're hanging around. We got Caleb jumping up to that 3rd spot. Rob making the charts. Welcome to the area. 4th place, and Sal falling into 5th. Let's go next. This Kendama player rickrolled the community when he dropped a teaser to his edit number 4. Was it Torkild May, Jake Fisher, Chris Bosch, or Kenyatta Williams? This Kendama player rickrolled the community when he dropped a teaser to his edit number 4. And if you don't know what a rickroll is, just type it in Google. And you must have not been alive during like the mid-2000s.
Yeah.
And that player was Chris Bosch on April Fool's Day, dropping the rickroll of his edit, which is unbelievable. And if you haven't seen it, go check out Chris Bosch edit number 4. Got Andrew moving up. Caleb taking that 3rd spot. Christian sitting in 2nd. Rob still holding on to that 4th. And Tyler now making his way into the 5th spot here. And it says, this player hit the golden yank at MKO 2016. I don't know who it was. I've never even seen the video. The golden yank. I didn't have a hand in naming that. It is a great name, though. I'm sorry. Alex Hirota, Matt Sweets, Rudy Simpliciano, or Zach Magnuson. Who hit the golden yank at MKO 2016?
That was my favorite moment.
The answer, Zach Magnuson. I think about that moment often. Alex Hirota, also a great yank master. If you can, go to Alex's profile and watch some of the stuff that he did at Camp Kendama. He did some wild things. So the airplane yank was sick. Luke Hernandez did a couple really crazy yanks as well. So definitely go check them out. But at MKO 2016, Zach Magnuson pretty much wrote the script himself and yanked the trophy to everyone's disbelief. And Andrew gonna take that top spot handily with a 1,000-point lead, pretty much. More like 600, but that's cool. 700. Caleb coming in 3rd place. Rob still sitting in 4th, and Tyler still holding down that fifth spot. Last question. This player has placed 2nd in 2 consecutive KWC events. Who is that player? Is it Akimoto? Is it Bonzatron? Is it Lucas Funk? Or is it Bryson Lee? This player has placed 2nd in 2 consecutive KWC events. The answer is Lucas Funk, who arguably, in my opinion, is one of the best competition Kendama players ever.
Hands down. Hands down. It's
Like,
way more impressive to take 2nd twice in a row than to even win it.
He's unbelievable, and he's arguably in the running to take it this year. I think he could. If he's on, he's on. And Lucas Funk, Austin Donovan, shout out Austin, said 2 years ago, he was like, if you want to win MKO, you have to beat Lucas Funk. And I truly believe that. After winning it, he is the person to take out. Otherwise, you're not going to take it. The man is a rock when he is on stage. And I am happy that I got to be in a group with him at Camp Kendama and spend a little more time with him and get to know him. He's a super nice guy, and he was really good with the kids. So In first place, we got Andrew with 7,668 points. He got 8 out of 10 correct. Just behind that, Christian with 7 out of 10 correct, 6,285 points. And Caleb coming in third with 7 out of 10. Very impressive 7 out of 10 and 5,349 points. Now, I know it wasn't perfect. I apologize to the people that experienced some lag. But let me know if you at least enjoyed the thought process behind it, because I thought it was kind of fun. I enjoyed watching it. It was definitely exciting. This was a fun thing. And what'd you think of the questions? Feel free to leave your comments in the Twitch chat. I'll definitely read them. Feel free to send them to my direct messages or to Atlanta Kendama's. And if you have any ideas for questions, you could even hit me up too with those, because I'm definitely going to be looking for more in the future. Thank you so much, Andrew. You're going to be walking away with a free kendama courtesy of Atlanta Kendama. So definitely hit us up afterwards, and we'll hook you up, man. I really appreciate that. But at this juncture, I want to jump back real quick, and I want to do some fun questions because I forgot to go through these because my brain is frazzled, and we're a little behind schedule, but that's okay. Fun questions for Tyler and Christian. If you could steal credit for any great piece of art, song, film, book, etc., what would you claim as yours?
Oh man, I mean, probably Harry Potter, because
Wow.
everybody knows it. Like, isn't it the most popular thing? Like, literally everybody knows it.
I don't know how you couldn't know Harry Potter at this point, so I'm just going to agree with you on that one.
I mean, it's an extremely influential and immersive world.
True.
Designed for the kids at heart that we really are.
And I really want to write a fiction book, so like life goals.
There you go.
To be honest, we're living in the Harry Potter universe every day.
Are you? How does that work? Wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
The wand?
You got your letter to Hogwarts? Because I'm still waiting.
I get a new letter every year. I
That's...
mean, I can't tell.
Yeah, right. They're like, sorry, you're too old, but we just want to. So you both would take Hogwarts as your. Sorry, you would take Harry Potter as your thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good one, man. I like this question. Next one, it says, which animal would make the best president if the animal kingdom rises up and takes over? And not only do I want to know which animal, I want to know why afterwards.
Probably Simba.
Specifically.
I mean, the answer is obvious. I mean, lions rule the kingdom, and he's got the most experience.
Okay. Tyler, you feel the same way?
Man, I'm not sure which animal gets the presidency, but as long as like the panda bear doesn't, because that thing is just an evolution, like its life cycle and all of it makes it so it shouldn't exist as a species, yet it still does, and I just don't understand.
Fair.
Sorry, I'm a bio guy.
No pandas. Got it.
You want to elaborate for a second, though? Why shouldn't they exist?
Like, they can literally only eat bamboo, which doesn't have enough calorie to sustain it, so they have to constantly be eating or sleeping. They don't reproduce in a timely enough fashion to keep their population up. It's only human influences that's kept them alive for as long as it has.
Ants.
And Twitch chat, what animal do you think would make the best president if the animal kingdom rises up and takes over, and why? I see some people commenting elephant seal. I see Nick throwing in some stuff about the environment. I think we could go off on a huge tangent about how humans affect the environment, which affects the population of pandas. But I'm not gonna fall into that digression right now. Honestly, I don't know what animal would make the best president, but you know what I think would be really funny? If there was like a giraffe, and more specifically a baby giraffe, and almost like with the personality of Mel from Madagascar. Tell me that wouldn't be a funny president. Like not confident, but like just still has that kind of leadership quality, like kind of person, and then like with those gangly legs that almost look like it can't walk. Like that would be, I'm down with that.
I see it.
The baby giraffe for president. I see a couple people saying a liger, sloths. I see that they would be chill. German shepherds because they're smart and cool. True. I think at that point a dolphin would be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nick. I didn't see it. You said ants, an eco-friendly industrial approach to survival. Okay,
Yeah.
That is a very nice.
Cutter ants.
An orangutan. A tie-in? Did you mean to write a lion? Because I don't know what a tie-in is. Bears. Which
Oh
bear
no,
is best?
Giant's a half tiger, half lion.
Ah.
It's different than a liger. It's
It's
backwards.
it's the other way around. Okay, I get that. I get that. I get that. Snakes. Interesting. Seems like we're no comment. No comment. We're gonna move on. What is the most motivational quote you have ever heard? Or maybe a quote from somebody that kind of sets you.
I think it's do or
Moving
do
forward.
not. There is no try.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you
Yoda.
just said that.
Master Yoda.
Tyler.
You know, to toss it back to one of our previous conversations, there's a lot of really good quotes relating to failure, but like the Michael Jordan quote about never missing a shot, or whatever.
You miss 100% of the shots
you don't take.
That's a Wayne Gretzky quote. The Wayne Gretzky is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's Wayne Gretzky. It's all right. I mean, is that the one you're talking about, or you're talking about the Michael Jordan one where he's taken? It's something like he's taken over 7,000 different shots or missed 7,000 different shots, and he's missed game winners. That one, the one you're talking about?
That's the one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know the exact words, and I'm not doing Michael Jordan any justice here.
No.
But I think what you're saying is like it relates back to what you're doing with the Kendama outreach and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I totally agree with you. That's awesome. That's a really good one. And just to laugh at what Christian said, my last class of college, we had to do an outdoor adventure class. We had 5 days in the wilderness. We come back, we're exhausted. We haven't seen anybody. We just our little group. We're going to eat lunch, and like we had to paddle in the morning. Everyone's sitting there. They're like they just want to eat. The guy stands up and he's like, there's always like kind of a motivational quote. Maybe have someone speak before we eat lunch or dinner or breakfast or whatever. And he's like, does anybody want to say anything? And nobody wanted to say anything just because we were all so hungry. We just kind of wanted to get to the food. My roommate, who turns out to be my best friend, and still is my best friend, lives with me right over there, and he just raises his hand, like stands up immediately, and just goes, do or do not. There is no try. Jedi Master Yoda. And just sits right back down, and just the guy who was like running the whole program, the only thing he could say was, okay. he's like, all right, everybody, eat. And it was just so funny. I'll never forget that moment. So when you said that, that made me, I almost fell out my chair. That was awesome. But moving forward, I think we're going to try to move into a section with some of the viewers asking questions. So viewers, if you could please put your questions in the Twitch chat. We are going to give you a minute to get those all set up as we move forward here. And before we move forward, I did this one before. We did Kahoot.it. Make sure you follow Kendama Minneapolis on Instagram. It's at Kendama.MLPS. MPLS, I can speak English. It's a tough language on Instagram, and I think it's important that we support people who support the community, and that's been the message through this entire 40, 50 minutes so far. So please, if you're in the Twitch chat and you're not following them on Instagram, please click follow, and you'll be able to be updated. And I want to give you guys a second if you want to shout out an event that you have coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually just posted about it tonight. The second annual Twin Cities Throwdowns happening August 12th, 2 p.m. In Eden Prairie, just outside of Minneapolis. There's going to be tons and tons of mini games, competition, lots and lots of prizes from, well, Atlantic is a sponsor. Then we've got
those are on the way, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We got Sweets, Rez, Crum, Kendama USA, RWB, Lunatac, Jack, 430 Clothing, Catch and Flow, Cobra Kendama, two more local homies, Cobra Kendama and
Awesome.
Fusion Kendama are gonna be
They're
there.
all brought prizes. We have so many prizes. It's going to be an open competition. Anyone can enter. It's going to be a few bucks to get in, and we are so excited. August 12th.
Amazing.
Mutual friend DJ Panic is going to actually be coming out to DJ the whole thing. So we're super excited about that.
All right. Hey, Pat is a great guy, and if you haven't met him, just go up to him at a competition. He will teach you some really cool flow moves. The man is just blessed with a way to play kendama that not many people are. So definitely fun to learn from somebody. You saw him put on that little like dance with kendama thing at Camp Kendama.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. And if you weren't at Camp Kendama, basically what we did is we split up into a bunch of different groups to allow people to try stuff that the pros are good at. For example, Alex Smith was talking to people about turning kendamas. Alex Hirota and Luke Hernandez were talking about the jammers and how to do tricks with that. And Cody Grizz and DJ Panic was putting on a little group about like kind of dance and flow in kendama and kind of freestyling. And we had people all over the place doing a bunch of different stuff with flow grove, slacklining, and it was really cool, man. That was really fun.
That was such a cool weekend.
It was amazing. And I'm actually going to call in right now one of our Atlantic players. We are going to try to phone in Nick, a.k.a. Coach Moni. So let's see if we can get him in here. I think I hear myself on the reverb a little bit, Nick.
Hey.
What's going on?
Nick here. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing? You want to turn?
I'll turn that. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
How are you? Good, man. How you doing?
There we go.
All right.
So I just wanted to bring you into the chat, and I appreciate you coming in. Everybody who's in the Twitch chat right now, Nick is a player for Atlanta Kendamas. Also a guy who behind the scenes is putting in so much work right now to help bring new kendamas to everybody, and I definitely have nothing but love and appreciation for what he's doing right now. And with everybody now in the Twitch chat and on the call, I'm gonna ask the question. With KWC coming up quick, who do you think will take it this year? Put your answers in Twitch chat. We're going to hear what Tyler, Nick, and Christian have to say. I'm going to shout out Tyler first because he looks the most nervous. So, Tyler, why don't you give us your answer?
Man. So every time somebody asks me this, I'm like, you should be able to pick a handful of players because anything could happen. If I've talked to a lot of people that have gone to KWC, and that's all I've heard is anything can happen on that stage. But first, I want to shout out that we've got Carter Justice and Luke Leach going out there from Kendama, Minneapolis. Both of those, and it's not just me shouting out friends and our players. Both of those guys are phenomenal Kendama players.
Yeah,
and
absolutely
have a shot at that. But I feel if Ben Harold, I don't even know if he's going, but that dude is on point right now.
He is.
He's performing at another level, and if he's going, we hope that he's got a chance at it.
Yeah, he is. He is on another level. Christian, do you agree with the Ben Harold, or you have your own opinion of who you think's going to take it?
I am obviously rooting for my local friends Lucas Funk and Parker Johnson.
Cool.
I think that they could both step up and take it, but I don't know if they'll be able to take it from Ben.
And Nick, what are you thinking?
I like the group strategy. Pick a handful. I think obviously Lucas Funk comes to mind. Ben Harold, absolutely. But I also think like one of the young guns as well, like a Logan Tuska or even I'm blanking on a name here. But yeah, those would kind of be my three. Oh, Fish as well, maybe even Fish. I know I kind of was looking at him last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the young guns are coming in hard, and all they do is, play all the time and shred. I know Logan did pretty good last year.
Yeah, he
did. I think I just saw that the ad's going to be there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, somebody just posted it in chat, which is dangerous because he is a slayer. But you know what? And honestly, and I mean this as no disrespect to anybody that we mentioned, but it's a completely different game on stage.
Oh.
You can play in front of a video camera at a jam, and you can be landing tricks left and right. But if you don't have that experience on stage, I think that's where a lot of people lose. A lot of people almost lose to themselves, myself included. I've done it. I've got up on stage and I've just botched everything. So when I watch some of these young players like Logan and Liad and D Westy, and like a couple of these guys are starting to get a little more exposure. They're starting to get a little more chance to perform at a really high level. I mean, Logan performed incredibly at MKO, not to mention his play last year at KWC. But they have this more experience now on a bigger stage, and I think that's going to be what makes the difference. I mean, at this point, we know Bonzatron is not affected by stage. You can throw 50,000 people around Bonds, and he's not going to play any different. So it's at any given moment, you could have one of those big guys who just has experience, and that could be what changes it. Like that could be what makes the difference between somebody winning and somebody coming close.
Absolutely. And it's going to come down to the day. Whoever steps up and performs that day is going to take it. And there's so many eligible.
There really is. It looks like chat says Bonzatron. I'm going to butcher this name, and I really apologize. Tomoki Ninomaya. I don't know how to pronounce it with the Japanese accent, but I don't know who that is, but very possible they could win. We see people saying Slay Leah, Jake Fisher, D Westy was put on here. Preston said that D Westy would kill it if it were only based on the tricks. The problem is he has never competed in the competition. I think the nerves will get to him, and I agree with you, Preston. Maybe not for Dylan specifically, but just in general, like we just said, it could make a huge difference if you don't have that experience on stage. There's a bunch of people. Hartej Singh, is Hartej going? Is Hartej going? I love Hartej. He's such a nice guy. And he is very good. Didn't he take the amateur win at Sakura this year?
I think so.
I think he did. I saw someone say Soma, who is an unbelievable player. I'm actually rooting for, and I'm sorry to do this to America, but I'm actually rooting for Misu, Jam Kadi on Instagram, because she is, not only is she an incredible player, but I really want someone from Japan to take it. Last year, if you look at the top 10, there was a couple of Japanese players, weren't there? And I think
there's three in the top 10, I think.
Yeah. And so I think that what would be nice is to see Japan get the representation that they deserve, because I'm always nervous when you see something come over to the United States and we kind of morph it and we make it our own. And when this was a Japanese thing to begin with, and I think that they've kind of adapted to a play style that we might have introduced, but there's some Japanese players now who are rivaling some of the better North American players. If not they're better on paper. So let's see in the competition like what plays out. And she's such a sweet girl, and who slays Kendama. Did you see her stall tricks? You saw the goon circle to wing?
Just gonna say, I'm so jealous of her stalls.
She did goon circle to wing. Who does that? Who does that? Anyway, I mean, we could talk all day, right, about who's gonna.
And every time somebody brings up another player, it's like, oh yeah, they could win for these 900 reasons.
Right. You're just like, this person is like, but it's at the end of the day, it's going to be an exciting competition. I'm actually going to be able to be out there this year with Austin Donovan and Milan Kurlej, so I'm very excited to see that in the first person. And I've been practicing, guys. Don't worry. I have been practicing. I got the sheet pinned up on my wall over there. I've got my runs figured out. I just don't have high hopes for myself, I'll be honest with you. But I'm excited.
You're gonna take
sleeper pick.
Sleeper pick. If I could just get a little more consistent with some of these juggle tricks. There's a lot of these juggle tricks, and I can do them. I'm just not consistent. But anyway, I want to move on to I want to move on to giveaway number 2, which Kendama Minneapolis. Everybody in the Twitch chat has been so great. I've been so grateful of their support of not only this Twitch stream, because I've been hounding them for days, like sending them text messages and trying to get everything set up because I'm nervous. And they just followed suit, and they were like, cool, man, we'll do whatever we got to do. And they've offered to give away a Kendama. So I'm going to let them tell you guys a little bit more about what they're doing. So go ahead, take it away, guys.
All right, so we're giving away this Prime, one-of-a-kind Prime Custom. It's got Cush Clear. It was painted by our good friend Zach Seeger. He actually works customer service and shipping at Sweets, and he helped us paint it. And
awesome.
Christian, you had the idea.
So the first person in chat here to post a video of a whirlwind check, successful whirlwind, and then say the name of.
It's after this Twitch stream ends, by the way. After the Twitch stream ends.
after the stream ends, you'll have to say the name of who won the first Twin Cities Throwdown.
So once we put up, you'll see it. It says thanks for watching, and then after that's put up, do exactly what Christian just said. You're gonna post a picture of a whirlwind. I mean, a video of a whirlwind check with the name of the person who won the first Twin Cities takeover. You said, right?
Twin Cities Throwdown, yeah.
Yeah.
Throwdown. I'm sorry. Twin
Follow
Cities Throwdown.
follow us and tag us, and it's just a very quick amount of research on our Instagram page will get you the answer to the question.
Again, it's right here. If you don't know the Instagram handle, it's at Kendama.MPLS. So you can go do that after the Twitch chat is over. Moving forward, it says any questions from the audience, leave them in the chat and we will get to as many as possible. And I saw some come in before, so I'm going to scroll back up and see if I can grab them. Ooh, I like that quote that somebody put in there. Okay, Emil Dama quoted Bonds, by the way, and he said, "Bang bang, skirt skirt. I've got pink glasses. And I'm on cat chrome. Why'd I say that?" Just too good. Also, to go back to that, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Because I'm such an Office nerd, if anyone knows this, there's a scene in The Office where that quote is on the wall behind Michael Scott, and it's in quotations, and then underneath, or it's in bigger quotations, and underneath it says Michael Scott, as if he's quoting himself saying the quote. Oh my gosh, it is ridiculous. Let me see if I can get up here. If I don't see your Twitch chat questions, just put them down below. So I see one here from Tucson Kendama that says, "Do you include mini competitions in your classes? If yes, how do you overcome the challenge of varying abilities/levels? And then how do you structure it to be inviting or inclusive and obtainable? You know, beginner through advanced level." That's kind of a big question. So.
Yeah, and differences in ability between students is like the biggest challenge of classroom management, is figuring out a way to give the proper instruction to all of your students. One of the things that we do to help prevent that a little bit is we cap our classes fairly small.
Okay.
We don't normally have more than 8 to 10 students per one instructor, so that we can do those intentional one-on-one instruction when needed. But in terms of competitions, we bring a beginner and an intermediate ladder, and you learn quickly what your students' abilities are, because you're playing Kendama with them and like consistently. And
yeah.
My issue, like the problems with competitions isn't getting people to reach for a level, it's preventing people from sandbagging. So
yeah.
Like constantly pushing the students to maybe even reach a little further than than they might think they'd be able to do is a really important part of the class.
But we've run 7 to spikes and speed ladders in classes just to get kids familiar with the structure of competition. We found that just doing a single round of those really does make a difference in the classroom.
That's awesome. And then I see a question here from RTTN Craft that says, "How do you plan to spread the program through the states? Do you have thoughts on having a system of Dama educators and a curriculum?"
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm in the process of writing a few different curriculums, one based entirely on Kendama skills, one based entirely on the history and culture of Kendama, and
Awesome.
one linking growth mindset and mindfulness to Kendama. We're actually going to be, if you're in the Twin Cities area, Sweets will be posting fairly shortly an advertisement looking for instructors to help us out with our after-school program, because at this point we're restricted by available teachers to staff all the classes. This last spring we unfortunately had to say no to quite a few schools because we didn't have enough people to teach. We're going to need help with that, and we have sent out our plans and our curriculum to people that have asked. We've got friends. Liam is up in Duluth doing things. Talon Crow in Houston, we've sent him
Cool.
stuff. Really, my goal, Sweet's goal, Atlantic's goal is to spread Kendama love. If you find a way to get a hold of us, we'll help you use your own ability to spread that love.
That's awesome. And I see another question here that's a little less complicated. It says, would you rather have to do your KWC run with no shoes or shorts and pants, or do it with a 1.5 finger length string?
Short string, no problem. I play with like 2-finger string anyway.
You still play with a two? You're amazing, man. More power to you. What about you, Tyler?
You know, let's go shoes, no pants. Let's do this. I need my string.
Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Instead of imagining the crowd naked, maybe you're just naked.
Yeah, there you go.
Jojo asked, what was the first ever Kendama Minneapolis custom? That's a good question.
Oh, Christian might have pulled up a picture of it because he saw the chat.
I have a picture of one of the like first 3 we ever did. They look something like this.
Wow. Wow, that's really impressive.
Wow, look at that.
Like we would paint fades on the Tamas and then fades on the Kens. I got another little picture here. This kind of stuff.
Wow, that's really incredible too. I want one.
That's how we got. I don't know. That's what the early stuff looked like.
Yeah, and for those looking for what we're doing now, we actually are going to be having a drop here soon of prototype Tamas. These are all one-offs that we've just been messing around with different spray styles, messing around with different line techniques, colors, a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually. So you have some stuff on there that's just one-offs. Do you have anything on there that you wanted to show off? I see the Pride Dom around your neck. You want to just maybe talk for a minute about what that is and why you guys decided to take that route and that paint style and everything?
Yeah, so actually this is one of the first paid customs we did was for Marcus Todd, and he wanted a rainbow stripe just like this. It was a common kind of design at the time that not very many people were putting out, but everybody wanted. A few people were putting it out, and we wanted to revisit that, give a chance for more people to have a rainbow stripe, and we thought it was perfect timing with Pride Month to do a little extra reaching out and maybe even reach some people who aren't Kendama players and get them excited about Kendama and show them that we are, serious about moving beyond our little micro community. And
Yeah, my girlfriend brought up, you guys should do something for Pride, and we were like, we've got the greatest idea ever.
It is a beautiful. It's not only a beautiful paint style, but it's a beautiful message, and I think that it's very important to me and a lot of Kendama players that are seen as inclusive. And not only inclusive of sexual orientation, but of anything. And I think that the interesting thing about Kendama, right, is that it's still such a small community, really, on the grand scheme of things, that maybe the issues that exist on a larger plane are not so visible sometimes within the Kendama community, but the beauty is that it's still so small that we can talk to one another, and that when there are issues, we can work together to solve them. And I think that it sometimes becomes difficult to wrap your head around all of the sometimes like madness that you see going on in the media and the news, and just to see that we still as a community can get together and say, you know what, I support what you're doing, and people will support you. I think you guys are doing exactly what companies should be doing, and I think it was such a breath of fresh air to see you guys like come up with your own paint style, come up with your own interpretation, but doing it in a way that was going to affect not only you but other people. That's amazing, man.
That's right. Yeah, and we got to give a lot of props to Sweets for jumping on with it too. Like,
Absolutely.
It was an idea that we had, and we're a small company. We couldn't have done it on the scale that we did without them. They took our small idea, didn't think twice about it, and threw all of their weight behind it, gave us the space, gave us the product, put it up on their website. It wouldn't have had nearly the effect that it did without
the overwhelming support.
Yeah, and like the community support has been crazy. Every time I go on FKC, I scroll to see the comments on some of the pictures that have been posted, and it's just really, really awesome to know. Like, I don't know, I already feel like I've had a huge success as a company in Kendama because of some of the things these people are saying about how something that this little thing that I had a part in has positively affected them, and I'm super, super grateful to have been a part of it.
Yeah, I've had that feeling once or twice, and it's an amazing feeling. Like, and I think for smaller kendama companies, and I'm going to speak for myself first, and you guys can tell me if you agree with me or not. But as a smaller kendama company, being a company, of course, like I would like to make money off of this. This is never going to be my full-time job, though. But because I'm a small kendama company, and I know that I can affect small groups of people, that's my main goal. My main goal is to build relationships with small groups of people to positively affect somebody's life. And in return, it always comes back around to me because I never know some of the effects that I have on people. And then a year later, someone makes a comment, and you're like, "Wait, oh wow, really? Like I didn't even know that moment or that video or that that comment that I made to you last event we were at, I don't know that had that effect on you." And so it's, it's like that's more important to me than any dollar amount that you could put in a bank account. Like it's those types of, like what you said, those reactions on Facebook, those interactions that you have with players at the events, and you guys are doing exactly what I think a kendama company should do as a small kendama company, is putting on events to get people to actually come together and like stand in the same area as another person and interface human to human. And I say that laughing because we're doing it online right now, and sometimes you have to do it that way, but kendama's just not as fun by yourself. It's not.
No, we're doing what we got to do it together, even though we're not together. I think this
quote that somebody quote it, please. That was an amazing quote. And then put his name underneath it, and then we're good. That we can take that away from the whole entire stream. That was incredible. I want to do 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap it up because we have gone a little bit over time, but I'm really enjoying this conversation. Emil Dama asked, any tips on how to organize Dama events in terms of contacting sponsors? I'm asking because I want to organize some events here in the Philippines, and I thought that was such a good question that we can't leave until we at least answer that one. So if you guys would like to speak to that.
We've met great results with our process, and I think we can help you guys.
Yeah, the big thing, like I'm thinking back to our first event when we were just starting out, nobody really knew us. Is just contact the companies. Don't be afraid to ask, because we emailed companies like nobody knows our names, nobody knows our location. They just were asking for product, but almost every company got back to us within a day saying, "Yeah, this is what we love to do. We've got stock for this exact thing."
Exactly.
So don't be afraid to do that, and like just reach out. That's the best way to go about getting help for any kind of kendama event. It's the type of community where we're just about helping each other.
Yeah, and I think Nick, I know Nick and I we met at NKR 2016, and Nick he was proactive in continuing a relationship with Atlantic Kendamas, and not only apart from the fact that Nick and I really got along and we had a similar mindset and morals and goals that we wanted to accomplish. So aside from those things, like Nick, for you, like contacting a company, what was it? What was your thought process being like, oh, I'm looking to make a video, or I know you do a lot of work with hospital records. Like, what is it like to approach a company that wants to sponsor the kendama world,
Well, it just comes out of the joy for playing the kendama, I'd say. And so, like, when I first met you guys, I'm fairly new to the kendama scene. I started in 2014, but I was still pretty new and seeing all these videos and just getting caught up. And so started attending the NKR, and that was fantastic. Then I met you guys, and then I just wanted to play those kendamas. The campfires really captured me, so I just picked one up and started making some videos. I had just gotten a GoPro, and so it was just fun. And so I just wanted to take some pictures and have some fun making some videos and just share. For me, it was just about sharing with the community, but also sharing with Atlantic how much joy that product brought to me. And so that was my motivation. So I just wanted to share how much I enjoyed playing, for example, with the campfire stripe. And so that was why I just started posting, and it's a blast. It's a lot of fun, and it's hot as heck here in Tucson, Arizona. So whenever you're jamming that kendama, the campfire is super hard. You can like smell that burnt wood, so that was pretty special. So for me, it's always just been about the experience. So any picture I take or video I take, I wanted to encapsulate the whole experience, whether it's something that I'm eating or drinking or whatever. And then I guess kind of, so that's speaking to connecting with you and Anthony. As far as reaching out to hospital records, I was raised with the notion that, the worst someone can say is no, so you might as well just ask. And so I reached out to them. They're one of my favorite record companies, and so I wanted to also be respectful, because I know that record companies struggle a lot with people just, using their music and then they never get a shout out. And so I just wanted to be respectful of that and show them that I was thinking about, hey, I really enjoy your music. I'd like to feature it in some of my videos, but I'm not going to do it unless I have your permission, because I just want to be respectful of that. And they responded positively to that, and they just said, hey, if you're going to post, make sure you tag it in this way.
Cool.
And I operate with full transparency, so I edited the video, then I sent them like halfway through, hey, this is what it's going to look like. Are you okay with this if I move forward? And then I did the final and then sent it back to them and said, okay, this is what the final is. This is what I'm going to write in the description. Please edit, let me know. And then they gave me the green light, and then I posted it. And so they've been very supportive since that point. And I think just operating with pure love and transparency and being respectful, that is what inspires people. And so
lead with respect. I love that.
That last part is key in our relationship with Sweets, is that transparency and just always staying in communication and making sure that we're all still working on towards the same goal for the same reasons.
Yeah,
100%. I agree with all of you. And Nick, everything you said was incredibly humbling, man. I really appreciate your kind comments, and that's not why I prompted a response from you. But I think what you said about contacting companies and to piggyback off of what Tyler and Christian originally said, and I think the takeaway is just like honesty is key, transparency is super important, and then on top of that, it doesn't hurt to ask. And anybody who's looking to host an event, there are Kendama companies out there who will help you. There are Kendama companies out there who will support you, and you have to reach out to them, and that's the only way it's ever going to happen. But I wanted to give a chance for you guys at the end, if you just had some final thoughts. We have, I'm going to say about 3 more minutes, because that'll even us out right at a good end time of 9:20 Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys had any final thoughts you wanted to say to people in chat or the people watching.
Just thank you so much for tuning in and for hearing what we have to say. We don't get a chance to interact with this type of thing, and so this is great to see everybody and see everybody eager to ask us questions. It feels really good.
And thank you, Ryan, for having us. Like this was a blast. And
thank you for being here.
Yeah, we talked before we got on, like this is something new to the Kendama scene, and I'm all about pushing the new and cool stuff. Like this was a lot of fun, and it seems like people enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope so. I appreciate you both for being on here. Nick, do you have any final thoughts?
Just continuing to thank you. Thanks to Ryan for hosting. Thank you to KendamaMPLS. And then just thanks to the community. The community only exists because you guys are, because everyone's contributing. And so I'm grateful to be welcomed into the community and a part of the community. And so I appreciate it.
Seriously, thank you to everybody who stuck it out. Thank you for the people who stopped by, whether it was for 30 seconds or for 30 minutes. It doesn't matter. I appreciate all of the support that you gave us tonight. This was the first time we've ever done something like this, so there were a few hiccups. But I think the process was important to get through the first one so that we could figure out what the next one might look at. Now, I'll be honest with you, my plan is to do 2 a month, bi-monthly. That way it gives me enough time to set up with the person, and they have enough time to figure out what they want to do, and we don't know where this might go. There are a lot of ways that this could twist and turn, but we'll only find out if we continue doing it, and if you guys keep showing up and supporting us like you have already, which means the world to me, and like they said, means the world to them. So if you haven't already, please go follow KendamaMPLS on Instagram. Once I put up the thanks for watching, then you can go post your whirlwind check video, and Kendama Minneapolis, I'm sure, will contact you, and you'll be able to receive your prize. So thank you so much to them for being here. Thank you for Nick coming into the chat and joining us for a little while and giving his thoughts on some of the questions that you guys asked. And thank you. Last time I'll say it, thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the stream. I will go through and post the information about who won the Dama just for following. Andrew, I will hit you up. I really appreciate you being here for the contest. That was super fun. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ryan Arthur Walker. This has been the first version of Kendama Live, and we will see you next time.